Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Speak English Corner podcast. I'm so happy that you are here with me today. This is episode 7, and in this episode, I want to share with you one of my most special holiday memories. You know, holidays are moments in life when we pause, celebrate, and spend meaningful time with the people we love. They are not only about traditions, food, or decorations, but also about emotions, connections, and little stories that stay with us forever. For me, among all the holidays I have experienced, Christmas stands out as one of the most magical and memorable times of the year. Even though I grew up in a culture where Christmas is not always celebrated in a very big way, the feeling of warmth, love, and joy during Christmas is something that has always touched my heart deeply. So today, I will tell you a story about a Christmas I will never forget. I'll take you back to the sights, the sounds, the smells, and the emotions of that time, and together, we'll relive that beautiful memory. So get comfortable, relax, and let's begin. Before I dive into my personal memory, let's take a moment to talk about what Christmas means. Christmas is a holiday celebrated on December 25th in many countries around the world. Traditionally, it is known as a Christian holiday that celebrates the birth of Jesus Christ. But over time, it has also become a cultural holiday celebrated by people of different backgrounds and beliefs. When people think about Christmas, many images come to mind. Sparkling Christmas trees decorated with ornaments and lights, stockings hanging by the fireplace, presents wrapped in colorful paper, families gathering for a big meal, and of course, Santa Claus with his sleigh and reindeer. But Christmas is more than just decorations and presents. It's about kindness, generosity, and love. It's about slowing down at the end of the year to reflect on what truly matters: family, friendship, and gratitude. Even in places where Christmas is not an official holiday, you can still feel its spirit through the music, the movies, the lights in the streets, and the cheerful mood that people share. And for me, Christmas has always been a holiday that carries a certain magic. It feels like the air itself changes. Suddenly the nights feel cozier, the days feel warmer, and people smile more often. Now let me take you back to a very special Christmas memory in my life. It happened a few years ago. At that time, I was a university student and life was very busy. I had exams to prepare for, assignments to complete, and part-time work to keep up with. I was often stressed and exhausted, but that year, for the first time, I was invited to celebrate Christmas with a close friend and his family. They lived in a small but cozy house in the city. I still remember how excited I was because I had never experienced a real Christmas celebration before. On Christmas Eve, I arrived at their house in the evening. The moment I stepped inside, I was welcomed by the warm smell of freshly baked cookies and cinnamon. It felt like stepping into a scene from a Christmas movie. The living room was softly lit with fairy lights that decorated a big Christmas tree standing in the corner. The tree was covered with red and gold ornaments, shiny ribbons, and a bright star at the very top. Music was playing in the background, classic Christmas songs like Silent Night and Jingle Bells. It immediately made me feel relaxed, like I had entered another world. My friend's family was so kind and welcoming. His mother greeted me with a warm hug. His father shook my hand firmly, and his younger sister handed me a cup of hot chocolate topped with whipped cream. That small gesture made me feel like I was part of their family, even though I was just a guest. We sat down together around the dining table for dinner. The table was full of delicious dishes: roasted chicken, mashed potatoes, fresh salad, and homemade bread. There were also traditional treats like gingerbread cookies and a fruit cake. I remember thinking, this is what Christmas tastes like: warm, sweet, and comforting. After dinner, we gathered around the Christmas tree. One by one, we exchanged gifts. I didn't expect much, but to my surprise, my friend's family gave me a small box wrapped in shiny red paper. Inside was a simple scarf, handmade by his mother. She smiled and said, "I wanted you to stay warm this winter." That scarf meant so much more than just a gift. It carried thoughtfulness, kindness, and love. In that moment, I felt truly seen and cared for. Later in the evening, we sat by the fireplace and shared stories. Everyone talked about their favorite holiday memories, funny moments, and even challenges they had overcome that year. Listening to those stories, I realized that Christmas was not about the size of the gifts or the decorations. It was about being together, sharing love, and creating memories that last forever. At midnight, we went outside for a short walk. The streets were quiet, but some houses still had their lights on, glowing in the cold winter night. The air was chilly, but I didn't feel cold at all because my heart was so warm. I held the scarf tightly around my neck and thought to myself, this Christmas will stay with me forever. This Christmas memory is special to me for many reasons. First, it was the first time I experienced the true spirit of Christmas in such a warm and authentic way. Before that, Christmas had always been something distant, something I saw in movies or on social media. But that night I lived it. I felt it with all my senses: the lights, the music, the food, the laughter. Second, it reminded me of the power of kindness. My friend's family didn't have to invite me. They didn't have to give me a gift. But they did, and that simple act of generosity touched me deeply. It showed me how small actions can create lasting impact. Third, it taught me the importance of slowing down and appreciating life. In the middle of a stressful semester, I found peace and joy in that one evening. It was like a reminder that life is not only about studying, working, or chasing goals. It's also about pausing, being present, and enjoying the company of others. Finally, it gave me a sense of belonging. Sometimes when we are away from our own families or caught up in busy routines, we can feel lonely. But that Christmas, I didn't feel lonely at all. I felt connected to people, to tradition, and to something bigger than myself. Looking back now, I realize that this Christmas memory shaped the way I think about holidays and even about life itself. I learned that holidays are not measured by how expensive the gifts are or how grand the decorations look. Instead, they are measured by how much love we share. I learned that generosity is not about giving a lot, but about giving with sincerity. A handmade scarf can mean more than an expensive gadget, simply because it carries love and thoughtfulness. I also learned the value of traditions. Whether it's singing carols, baking cookies, or walking through the quiet streets at night, these little traditions give life rhythm and meaning. They connect us to the past, to each other, and to the present moment. And most importantly, I learned that memories are the real treasures of life. Years later, I don't remember the details of the exams I was studying for or the part-time job I was doing. But I clearly remember that Christmas night, the warmth of the lights, the taste of the cookies, the laughter we shared, and the feeling of being loved. To me, Christmas was more than just a holiday. It was a lesson in love, kindness, and gratitude. It was a reminder that sometimes the simplest moments become the most meaningful. As you listen to my story, I hope it inspires you to think about your own special holiday memories. Maybe it's a time you spent with family, a trip you took, or a small gesture someone made that touched your heart. Hold on to those memories because they are the ones that truly matter. Thank you for joining me today on the Speak English Corner podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe for more everyday English stories. In the next episodes, I'll continue to share more personal stories that can help you improve your listening skills while also giving you inspiration and comfort. Until then, I wish you peace, joy, and many more beautiful memories in your life. Merry Christmas and see you next time.